get our acceleration here. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over this modified Chevy Camaro SS. First and foremost, so a huge shout out and thank you to Harrison Imports for giving me some time with the Camaro. Check out the inventory link below. Let's get straight into the video. So since I've already done several reviews on this body style of Camaro, let's just kind of go over the highlights with the car, and that means we have to start things under the hood, which, if you guys are wondering, to pop the hood, it's just this little car icon right there underneath the dash. I love how the hood's blacked out on this one, by the way. Definitely looks cool. And then the latch is just right there. It's super hard to get though with one hand. You have to like snake your finger in right there, boom, and then it'll pop up. Anyways, we have a naturally aspirated 6.2 liter V8, goes through a 6-speed manual in this car, 455 horsepower, 455 pound-feet of torque. Definitely looks really cool under the hood. And then notice that the venting is actually functional. Now closing up, you want to get it like right here, and then will close perfect every single time. But yeah, here's the front end. It has that cool like stormtrooper look. Notice we've got the SS logo right there. You've got accent lighting just down below, and then you've got the LED lights. And a lot of people prefer this style of lighting compared to like the new Camaros where their LED light goes like to the center of the grille. Notice that the Chevy logo has been blacked out, and yeah, overall looks really cool. Now another key touch here is the brakes. So this does come with Brembo brakes from the factory, which is definitely hugely important. 245mm tires, they're wrapped around 20-inch wheels here for the front set. Notice it's all blacked out. And then popping here to the rear, we have 20-inch wheels again, but we've got two 75mm tires, so a little bit wider in the rear. And then here's that full side view. And then notice that it's got the more square style of taillights here in the back. And then this does have an aftermarket exhaust. Yes, it's extremely loud. You guys are gonna love it. We'll start it up in just a little bit. But overall, definitely love this body style of Camaro. And then the cool thing about this particular one, you can see this one's got kind of like the baseline interior. So you actually get nice padding where you're gonna rest your arm, all that stuff. But it's got the cloth seats here because it's a 1SS. Still get nice bolstering and everything on the seats, but it's all cloth. And then there's a quick look at the back seats right there. And then we'll pop in, and obviously since it's a manual, got to push the clutch in. It's loud. And again, I'll give you guys an exhaust clip later, but it's loud. And also the steering wheel, we still get leather around it. This does have the rev match, which I'll show you guys when we drive it, and all that fun stuff. And by the way, don't worry, the tire is fine. I just have to drive it, and then the PSI will reset. They had to do a new tire on the car. But anyways, look at the whole gauge cluster set up with the analog gauges and then that screen there in the center, which will give you different bits of information on the car. Pretty cool setup. And then you've got the infotainment system, which, if we pop it over into reverse, backup camera is actually pretty good with this. It's got the cool circular vents there for the climate controls. You guys know I'm a huge fan of those to change the temperature, and the fan speed is the other vent because it does have a single zone climate with this particular one. And then we actually have the drive modes. So right now we're in touring mode. We've got a sport, track, snow, and ice. And with this one with the aftermarket exhaust, well, it's loud in every single drive mode. That's all I gotta say. And then notice you've got that. You can see the center console here. Normal Camaro stuff. And then it even has nice materials right there on that part of the dash, which is pretty cool because again, it's just a 1SS. But with all that being said, let's take this out and see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off here in this SS. There's your visibility over the hood, both of the mirrors. The rest of the rear just has the regular mirror, by the way. It does have the dimmer function. But anyways, let's set off. We are setting off here in this SS. Man, that exhaust. Sounds great, I will say that. And I believe I've got the rev match on. perfect downshifts because of that rev match function. It's kind of weird not doing it yourself. It's kind of, you have to like force yourself to not touch the gas pedal when you're braking and you are downshifting. So it does take a second to get used to that auto rev match, but obviously it does a much better job than anyone could ever possibly do. And I wouldn't say it takes the fun out, because it lets you focus more on, you know, the clutch aspect of it, the braking aspect of it, the steering, like everything else, you can focus on it a little bit more because it's doing that part of it for you. So, I mean, I guess maybe it makes it a little bit less fun, but I don't think so. I think it lets you just be engaged more so on other stuff, which, I mean, that's just a huge plus overall. But let's talk about the other stuff here with this SS. So, from a ride quality perspective, drives really smooth. Super good with that, really comfortable as well. You could definitely daily drive this, and I actually had a ZL1 1LE for a while and I daily drove that, which that was very punishing. This, on the other hand, is not nearly as bad. Like, it's very smooth. Man, those downshifts, it sounds so cool. Like, this exhaust is just, it puts a smile on your face. It really does. It's an interesting experience for sure. Clutch engagement's kind of interesting. You don't get really a whole lot of feel with the clutch itself. You just kind of have to watch the revs with this. The steering's heavier in the sport mode also. That sounds so good. Handling's great. Oh, this thing's fun. This thing is a riot. It's got like the perfect amount of power, and we will get a full-blown acceleration. But yeah, this thing so far is great. Oh, we'll get our acceleration here. It's kind of violent. That exhaust really just amplifies everything with this car. It's got so much torque. Man, this is what a muscle car should sound like. This thing is amazing. Just listen to that. Yeah, this is an absolute riot to drive. This is the perfect balance, because the power is actually usable. And man, does that exhaust just absolutely transform this car. And also, we got to do the tunnel. This is like a thing. Whenever we have a loud car, we always got to go through this tunnel and floor. Wow. Yeah, this is a special car. Really is. Even though this is, you know, again, it's a 1SS. It's pretty much a base model. It's really special though, and that'll get me to summing things up here at this car. So exterior wise, I think this looks great with the contrast between the white and the black on this particular car. Interior wise, I actually really like this base interior because it's got all the stuff you need, none of the stuff that you don't need. Great infotainment system. You guys know I'm a huge fan of that. And I mean, you don't really need a dual zone climate in this car because it's a very small vehicle, and so a single zone climate is more than adequate. And the seats are really comfortable. These cloth seats are really supportive. Like, they're also soft as well, so you aren't really losing much over the leather seats, other than the fact that leather is a little bit easier to clean generally. And then driving experience, it's amazing. I mean, the rev match, the auto rev match is great. The car sounds great. And it handles really well, and this is the perfect amount of power for a Camaro. You guys know I'm a huge fan of the SS models because I feel like it's just, again, the perfect amount of power. It's enough power that it's still fun and exhilarating, but you can actually use it without breaking the law. Whereas the ZL1, you're just always at illegal speeds every single time. So yeah, definitely a huge plus with that. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. This car's amazing. Like, it's a fun car, and that rev match is just perfect. Yeah, if you're looking for a really cool SS, check this one out. That exhaust completely transforms this car. Let's get some things up for our video on this Chevy Camaro SS. And again, a huge shout out and thank you to Harrison Imports for giving me some time with the Camaro. Check out the inventory in the link below. I'll see all of you in the next video.